We are now going to head to our 11th president, James K. Polk, who served as the 11th U.S. president from 1845 to 1849. During his tenure, American territory grew by more than one-third and extended across the continent for the first time. Before his presidency, Polk served in the Tennessee legislature and the U.S. Congress. In 1839, he became governor of Tennessee. A Democrat who was relatively unknown outside of political circles, Polk won the 1944 presidential election as the dark horse candidate. As president, he reduced tariffs, reformed the national banking system, and settled a boundary dispute with British that secured the Oregon Territory for the United States. Polk also led the nation into the Mexican-American War from 1846 to 1848, in which the United States acquired California and much of the present-day Southwest. Polk kept his campaign promise to be a one-term president and did not seek re-election. Soon after leaving the White House, he passed away at the age of 53. James Knox Polk was born on November 2nd, 1795, in a log cabin in Mecklenburg, North Carolina. As a boy, Polk, the eldest of 10 children, moved with his family to Columbia, Tennessee, where his father became a prosperous land surveyor, planter, and businessman. The younger Polk was often sick as a child, and as a teen he survived a major operation for urinary stones. The surgery was done before the advent of modern antiseptics and anesthesia. Polk was reportedly given some brandy as a sedative. A top student, Polk graduated from the University of North Carolina in 1818 and studied law under a leading national attorney. He was admitted to the bar in 1820 and opened a law practice in Columbia. He entered politics in 1823 when he was elected to the Tennessee House of Representatives. Did you know, in addition to being nicknamed Young Hickory, Polk, an eloquent orator who was small in stature, was dubbed Napoleon of Stump. In 1824, Polk married Sarah Childress, whose life spanned from 1803 to 1891. A well-educated Tennessean and devout Presbyterian from a wealthy family. The couple never had children, and Sarah Polk became her husband's close advisor throughout his political career. As First Lady, she was charming and popular hostess, although she banned hard liquor from the White House and eschewed dancing, the theater, and horse races. In 1825, Tennessee voters elected James Polk to the U.S. House of Representatives, where he would serve 7 terms and act as Speaker of the House from 1835 to 1839. In Congress, Polk was a protege of American 7th President Andrew Jackson, a fellow Democrat and Tennessean who was in the White House from 1829 to 1837. Polk favored states' rights and supported Jackson's plan to dismantle the Bank of the United States, and replace it with a decentralized government banking system. Polk later earned the nickname Young Hickory, a reference to his mentor Jackson, who was dubbed Old Hickory for his toughness. Polk left Congress in 1839 to become governor of Tennessee. He ran for a re-election in 1841 and lost. Another run for governorship in 1943 also ended in defeat. In 1944, James Polk unexpectedly became Democrats' nominee for president. He emerged as a compromise candidate after the more likely choice, former President Martin Van Buren, who had lost his re-election bid in 1840. Failed to secure the party's nomination. Polk thus became America's first dark horse presidential candidate. George Dallas, whose life spanned from 1792 to 1864, a U.S. Senator from Pennsylvania, was chosen as Polk's running mate. In the general election, Polk ran against U.S. Senator Henry Clay, whose life spanned from 1777 to 1852, a Kentuckian and founder of the Whig Party. The Whigs used the campaign slogan, "Who is James K. Polk?" An allusion to the first that Polk was not well known outside the world of politics. However, Polk's expansionist platform favored an annexation of Texas appealed to the voters. He narrowly won the presidency with 49.5% of the popular vote, an electoral margin of 170 to 105. At the age of 49, James Polk was younger than any previous president when he entered the White House. A workaholic American, America's new chief executive set an ambitious agenda with 4 major goals: cut tariffs, reestablish an independent U.S. Treasury, secure the Oregon Territory, and acquire the territories of California and New Mexico from Mexico. Polk eventually achieved all his goals. He was a champion of manifest destiny, the belief that the United States was fated to expand across the North American continent. And by the end of his 4 years in office, the nation extended for the first time from Atlantic Ocean to Pacific Ocean. In 1845, the United States completed its annexation of Texas, which became the 28th state on December 29th. This move led to a breakdown in diplomatic relations with Mexico, from which Texas was revolted in 1836. After the United States sent troops to a dispute border region around Rio Grande River, the Mexican-American War from 1846 to 1848 broke out. The United States won the 2-year battle, and as a result, Mexico relinquished its claims to Texas, as it also recognized the Rio Grande as America's southern border, and in exchange for $15 million, seceded the land that makes up all or part of present-day California, Arizona, Colorado, Nevada, New Mexico, Utah, and Wyoming. Despite the U.S. victory, the war proved controversial and reignited the slavery extension debate that would ultimately result in the American Civil War in the 1860s. With the Oregon Treaty of 1846, Polk managed another significant land acquisition, this time without going to war. When his administration diplomatically settled a border dispute with the British and gained full control of present-day states of Washington, Oregon, and Iowa, as well as parts of Montana and Wyoming. On the domestic front, Polk reduced tariffs in an effort to stimulate trade and create an independent U.S. Treasury. Federal funds had previously been deposited in private or state banks. Also during this time, the U.S. Naval Academy, Smithsonian Institute, and Department of Interior were each established. In addition to Texas, 2 more states, Iowa in 1846 and Wisconsin in 1848, joined the Union. James Polk kept his campaign promise to serve just 1 term and did not seek re-election in 1848. He was succeeded by Zachary Taylor, whom I will speak about in tomorrow's video, a military leader who earned acclaim during the Mexican-American War and ran for presidency on the wing ticket. Polk left the White House in March of 1849, and returned to his home, Polk Place in Nashville. The stress of the presidency had left him in poor health, and he passed that summer on June 15th at the age of 53. He was buried at Polk Place. In 1893, his remains, along with those of his wife, who outlived him by more than 40 years, were moved to the Tennessee Capitol in Nashville. And with that, I will see you guys in the next one.